Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my Project Pan team, #Team Project Pan, update number 4, I think. Yes, update number 4. So I'm going to start with my empties. Foundation. Finally got there on the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric / Luminous Silk mix. This was a good colour for me in summer, not so much towards the end of the month. I really pushed it with this one, but I managed to finish it up. There might be like a tiny bit in there. It stopped pumping out. I'm not going to scrape it out because the colour just doesn't work for me anymore, but I'm glad that one's done. Another one that I managed to finish makeup wise, actually let me show you this one first because this is to be expected. My little The Balm Hot Mama blush, I finished that guy up. That was a pleasure to use. I really like this blush. It's a beautiful, it's kind of like NARS Orgasm, but I just like it more. So it's kind of like a corally pink color with a gold sort of sheen. Really pretty. I enjoyed that. It's a blush that I would buy a full size of. I don't think I have a full size of it. I might. I don't think I do, but I really like that. I like the balm blushes in general. And another one that I'm very proud of, and I'm considering it done, but if I really tried to, I could probably get more product out of it, but I'm not gonna try. Colourpop, my liquid lipstick. So this was an Ultra Satin Lip in Tiny Chum. Let's show you what it's looking like. So it's very, there's still product down the bottom here. It's really hard to get out. I've sort of scraped the sides. I forgot to mark it at my last update, but it was kind of like, I don't know, I think it was around here-ish. So I just focused on it because I wanted it done. Like I said, there is product in the bottom there, but I'm not going to take out the stopper. I'm not going to try and fight for more product. I don't care enough. I got so many lip products. Like, I don't need to, you know, extend the usage of this by another 2 weeks because I want to get every drop out of it. I don't want to get every drop out of it. I don't care. Another product I don't care about is the Nutre-Nail Growth Formula. So this is like a, I don't know, it's just like a, maybe consider it like a serum for your nails. It's supposed to help strengthen your nails and help them grow. I saw none of that. It just, yeah, not for me. I used that several times a day just around my cuticles, massaged it in, and I got through it pretty quickly. I was up to here at the last update. I wouldn't buy that one again. Another one that I finished that I'm really pleased with is the Inhibitive Hair-Free Body Serum. So I didn't think I was going to finish this. According to what I had used in previous months, still had about another 2 months worth of use, but I decided that I was going to start using this twice a day religiously, and I went through it pretty quickly. There's like a drop in there. I'm not gonna try and get it out. This has some serious potential. I noticed that my hair growth seems to slow down when I'm using this regularly, but it didn't stop it completely. I would not repurchase this product because, excuse me plain, very rude. I would not repurchase this one because I just found it really tedious, like spraying it on my body. They do have a cream, like a moisturizer formula, that's supposed to be like the hair growth slowing thing, and I would like to try that one day. It's always out of stock on the Deciem website. It's out of stock everywhere. So yeah, maybe one day I'll try it, but this one I wouldn't repurchase, but I think it works to an extent. My last empty is this guy, the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask. So that was all finished up. This was easy to use. I don't love this product. It's okay, but I don't love it so much that I feel like I need it in my routine. I feel like there are so many really good moisturizers on the market that basically do the same thing that this does, which is like deeply hydrate. And also, you know, this is supposed to assist with like keeping the skin clear and all that stuff. And I find just using like acids in my routine, making sure I incorporate a vitamin C and I use hyaluronic acid and vitamin B products, that's enough. Top that with a good moisturizer, wake up in the morning, skin is gorgeous. I don't need this extra step, so I wouldn't repurchase it. Moving on to progress of the other products in my project. I have the Mecca Lit From Within Primer. So I didn't mark this when I introduced it last month because I didn't know where it was up to, but I did discover that it will settle if I stand it upright. And I'm here. I've used about 2 grams of this. It's only a 15-gram tube. I don't really have any strong feelings about this. That's kind of my vibe with most primers, especially like cream, gel, silicone type primers. I love my like spray-on primers. They are my fave at the moment. But for me, I feel like these are just adding an extra layer of something that often doesn't really have any benefit. And I try to keep my layers minimal and really thin these days because that's what looks best on skin that is, you know, getting a bit older. I've got enlarged pores. I've got, you know, my smile lines are getting deeper. I've got fine lines here and there. So keeping the layers minimal and thin prevents things looking thick and cakey. And I just feel like adding another layer of primer in like a cream or gel or liquid form, it's just adding to the layers, but I don't get any benefit from it. So I'm not really like, yay for this one. I'm pretty sure I've got a few more of these in my stash. They come as like gifts from Mecca, like birthday gifts. If I discover I love it, I'll keep them, but if not, eventually I will declutter them. Let's do concealer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade light to medium beige. I only use this once. Now, the reason I only used it once was because I suspected that it might have been breaking me out, but there was a possibility that it was another product as well. Now, I am actually swapping this out for a different concealer, not for the reason that it's breaking me out, for the reason that this is too dark for me. This is a summer color, so it worked well with the Giorgio Armani foundation. It's not going to work well for the foundations that I'm currently using at this time of year though, so I'm gonna stick this back in my collection. I'm gonna swap it out for another concealer, and I do have a lighter Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. I'm gonna have a play with that, see if it does break me out, and if so, eventually I'll declutter that one. My next product is the Urban Decay Velvetizer Powder. So I've almost finished this. Great. Really, can we not fucking... Okay, you can kind of get an idea of what's in there. I pulled out the sifter because I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna finally finish this month. I didn't get there. However, I did use nearly 6 grams of product. I was really trying to like finish it up. I mentioned last month, like, I don't like this product. If you put it over certain concealers or foundations to set your base, it appears like it is taking coverage away from what you've already put on your face. And a lot of you were telling me that this is not meant to be used to set your face. It's meant to be used to mix into foundations to improve their coverage. And yes, it can be used for that, but it's also marketed as a setting powder. Silicone powders, not new, not even remotely new. They have been around for a very long time, and they've been used for like making products thicker or for setting for a very long time. Now, as I have used this as a like mix in medium for foundations to make the pigmentation or to give them more coverage, and it works to an extent, and the way it works is it thickens the product. So if you take something like the L'Oreal Pro Glow, which is quite a liquidy formula, and you add some of this in, it's going to thicken it, and when you put it on your face it's going to go on thicker, and that gives the appearance of making the product have more coverage. But all you've really done is applied a thick layer of a product on your skin, and like I said earlier, I don't like that because it doesn't look good on skin that is showing signs of aging. So I won't use it for that. I have used it for that. I only use it to set my base, and I still don't like it. I stand by it. I wouldn't buy it again. And I think if you're really curious, I actually wouldn't even recommend that you buy this to try it out. Flower Beauty have a powder that, hang on, I'll get it. This powder from Flower Beauty, it's the Miracle Matte Translucent Finishing Powder. It's basically this with a slightly different formula, and it does the same thing. It's like it's a silicone powder basically, so you can use it to mix into your foundations to make them thicker, which will make them go on thicker and give you more coverage, or you can use it to set your face. So yeah, if you are curious about using a powder as a mix in medium in foundations, because I know like that it kind of sounds cool, and people who like to experiment with their makeup, you might want to give something like that a go. But I wouldn't recommend forking out the cash for this if you're just looking to experiment like I did. I would go the Flower Beauty one to try it out. But yeah, this will be gone next month and I'll be so glad. Something else that I was so close to finishing is the Mecca All Set Makeup Perfecting Mist. I didn't quite get there. Look at that. Isn't that upsetting? I really love face mists. I use them very regularly. I quite like this one, and I think I've got at least one more in my stash. Again, it was from like the birthday sets. I will use it. I wouldn't buy this though, and I'm not sure if they actually still make this one in particular. I'd say they would. It's a nice setting mist. It's a good hydrator, so think along the lines of MAC Fix Plus. So not like setting and, you know, it's not like hairspray for your face. It's a rehydrator, and it helps to sort of meld everything back together when you've got all of your layers on. When I use setting sprays, I also like to be able to spray them onto my sponge. I then like push the product, you know, into the sponge on my hand so it's not soaking wet, and then I like to go over and like rehydrate with the sponge in some spots. And I find that this particular one can start to lift my foundation. So basically what happens is the product is sort of getting in through those powder layers and the foundation layers and starts to break it down, which then means the sponge is picking it up. So it's not my favorite, but I do like it enough that I would use the one that's in my stash. I just wouldn't buy it again. One that, God, I've ranted and raved, not ranted, but I've raved about this product so much, and I'm sorry if you're sick of it, but the Smashbox primer water, that just it's so good for everything. It's like a multi-purpose prime, and I don't know what it does, but it it helps somehow, just a little bit, just enough to notice. It's great for like refreshing, it's great for taking down the powder, it's great for doing the sponge rehydration trick. It's kind of perfect in all of its little jobs that I like to use it for, whereas this kind of falls flat with one of my favorites, which is the sponge rehydration. So that's hopefully gives you a bit of an idea of why this one wouldn't be repurchased and isn't a favorite, but I'll still use it. I'll use what I've got. Bronzer. Okay, so I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in deep bronzer. There we go. So I did not use much of this. Where is it on my list? I use like 0.4 grams. Great. This still smells. I can smell it. This is the stinkiest fucking bronzer I've ever experienced in my whole life. This butter formula, the butter scent, Jesus, why is it so obnoxious? I stopped using this about 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks into April, because it's too dark for me now. It's a great summer color for me, like a summer bronzer, so I am going to hold on to it, but I'm actually going to swap it out. And I know that doesn't really align with the 3-month refresh of the project, but I'm not keeping this in the project for another 2 months when I know I'm not going to use it. So I'm putting that one to bed. I will swap it out for something else. Let's do the highlighter. NARS Fort de France. How much of this did I use? And I repressed it finally. So I've used not much, about 0.3 of a gram, and a little bit of that might have even been lost when I was repressing it. It still works beautifully now that it's repressed. It's just not as messy, which is great. I'm gonna keep that one in the project. I'm really enjoying it. I've got a few like little pot goodies here. Let's do this one. This is the Australis Metallics in Gold Gaga. I didn't use it. I didn't use it once, so I didn't even bother weighing it. Guys, so many of you you'll be like, Hayley, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed with me as well. I really like this product. It works well for me. I love to just dust this like over a bare lid and then put on my eyeshadows. It adds a little bit of extra sparkle, and I think it's really pretty. It's not difficult to use. I just forget. That's it. I'm not avoiding using it because I don't like it, or it doesn't work for me, or it's hard to use, or anything like that. I just forget. I forget that it exists until I film these updates, and then I'm like, fuck, shit, I did not use it. Whenever I get to filming these updates and I'm like, great, didn't use it again, I kind of have these moments where I'm thinking, should I just like not have this in the project, because I'm clearly like screwing up actually getting around to using it. But then I feel sad because I want to use it and I like it and I want it to, like, no one talks about these anymore, and I want this to have a little bit of love because I actually quite like these. And I remember like when these came out in Australia, and you know, the bloggers were doing the rounds with them, and they were like, oh, they're so beautiful, they're amazing, go buy them all. And then they actually used them and they were like, okay, wait, hang on, these crease and they're not great. So, you know, I feel like these have had a bad rap. I feel like they've had a really fucking bad rap, and they don't deserve that, because if they're used carefully and they're used in specific ways, these can do like the prettiest things to eyeshadow looks. So I just, come on. I need the seed to be planted. Use the fucking Gold Gaga. Oh, I'm sorry I'd do this to you. You deserve better. Another product that I was so close to finishing, and I would have finished it if I didn't forget that it fucking existed. So I put this in my handbag and promptly forgot all about it. It's the Flesh Pot eye and cheek gloss. I don't use this on my eyes or my cheeks. That's a vomit inducing for me personally. Oh. So for the first like 3 months of April, I didn't even use this. I used it once early, put it in my handbag, like I'm gonna take it out with me and use it. Didn't use it. Idiot. And then I found it about a week ago and I was like, oh my God, I could have finished that product this month. So I've been going hard on it, use it every day, reapply several times a day. I really like it as a lip gloss. I'm very happy with it. I wouldn't repurchase it because I do find applying a lip gloss out of a pot to be a little bit, it's a bit hard when you got nails and it gets under the nails. It's pretty gross. So yeah, I will finish that one. I'm keeping that one out. And another one, this is the Lush Santa Baby Lip Scrub. Now, I mentioned last month when I introduced this and kicked out another lip scrub that I wasn't too sure if lip scrubs were my thing, but they are when it's this one. This is delicious. Like I kind of want to eat it right now. I can smell it. You smell divine. I just keep this in the shower. I use it every time I have a shower. I really enjoy it. It scrubs nicely. It doesn't leave like a greasy residue on my face. It tastes good when I do end up getting it in my mouth, because when you're using a lip scrub, you are inevitably going to get some in your mouth. I really, really enjoy this. And after I've had like such a lovely experience with this, I know that as I go through the other lip scrubs in my stash, if they do not live up to the nice experience that this one does, I will very happily move them out of my life. Okay, a couple of other things. This is very sad. So my fragrance oil, vanilla fragrance oil, you can see I have like barely used up any of it. I basically forgot that it existed. And my Mise en Scene Perfect Repair Oil, I use this so little that like I can't even mark it, because if I mark it, I'll just be marking a line right next to the line that was marked last month. So this one, okay, this I kind of just forgot about, and that's a thing. This one, I didn't forget about it, but I was like trialing a whole bunch of new hair products in April. So, you know, maybe we can pick up where we left off in May. Yes? Good. Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. I think this is on the end of its legs, but I'm gonna push it until it's completely dead. I used not much, 0.3 grams, I think, of this. It's a tiny sample, and how much is in there? 3.5 grams. So yeah, it's a mini mascara. I just really like it and I'm enjoying using it, so I'm going to continue to use it until I can't use it anymore. Let's do these guys, pencil type products. I'll start with this one. This is the Nude Sticks in Mystic. Again, this went in the handbag the same day the Flesh Pot did in the earlier stages of April. I used this and then I applied this over the top, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a very good girl and I'm gonna reapply regularly and I'm gonna make so much progress this month. And then I forgot it was in there and I literally have no progress to show. So there's that. My MAC Boldly Bare lip pencil and my Flormar Ultra Copper pencil. Little bit of progress, we're getting there slowly. Same with the Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. I will talk a little bit about my feelings with this. I do like these, but I find that the sort of triangular, like these have a triangular shape, not that I can really show you. It's like a little teardrop shape. So it's thin at one end and then thicker at the other. You're supposed to use the thicker end to sort of fill in the brows, the thinner end to define them. To be perfectly honest, I think I just prefer they're precisely my brow. Like, that has been my favorite for a very long time and it is still my favorite. So I'll get through this. I've got a few more that I've got to get through as well, and I think I will be able to use them, but yeah, it's not my fave. Eyeshadow palettes and single eyeshadow. I'll start with the single eyeshadow. Okay, this is the Apu Couture Undertone eyeshadow. These are, look, I really like these. These are kind of like eyeshadow toppers. They have a whole bunch of colors. You can't see it too well there, but they all add like a really pretty sort of sparkle, and they have like a little duochrominess to them. It's very subtle, and they're great for like adding a little bit of something extra to an eyeshadow. I didn't use it. I didn't use it one single time, and I've decided, after not using this at all and only using the MAC white pigment, I think once, in like the last month, I'm not going to include any more like single products, single eyeshadow or pigment type products in the project. They're just not getting used, and I find that I'm really just having so much fun with the palettes that I'm putting into these projects, or this project each month. So for April, I had 2 palettes. I always pick 2 palettes. I chose Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam and Clam, for those of you who love hearing that, and the Urban Decay Moon Dust. I had so much fun with these. I'm wearing them both today. I weighed this when I introduced it, and then I weighed it like today before filming this, and it's grown product. Someone fed it after midnight, and I don't really appreciate that. So I don't know what happened there. Potentially my initial weight was off. I did only use it a couple of times, but when I used it, I enjoyed it, and I'm wearing it today. I've got this color Element, which is a pink to orange duochrome. It's really pretty. I enjoyed it. It was good having like something with color and sparkle. It was fun. Welcome back to the party. And Soft Glam, oh, I really enjoyed this. My love lies in the mattes with this palette. I feel like Sultry looks like it's got so much potential, but actually getting it to be this like foil metallic gorgeousness, I had to use it wet, and I just couldn't really be bothered. So I was mostly reaching for this, and either like the mattes in this and this guy, or another like single sparkly shadow from my collection. But some absolute faves: Sienna, Dusty Rose, Cypress Umber. They're Sienna and Cypress Umber in other palettes, so I already knew I liked them. And Mulberry. Whew. Actually, Mulberry and Dusty Rose are what I'm wearing in my crease today. Loved it. You were a gem. Thank you for your service. I'll come back to you at another date. So now I'm going to get into the products that I am replacing with products that I used up or I'm getting out of the project. I'm just going to start with my new eyeshadow palettes that I chose for this month. Natasha Denona. This is the Sunset palette. So I got this, did I get this late last year or earlier this year? Or no, I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year. Anyway, there it is. I really like warm eyeshadows, and I feel like any palette that I choose at this time, it's got to have a red in it. So you know, that's a big thing that pulled me in. But also I haven't really used this very much, and I've got like a Natasha Denona mini eyeshadow palette that I got in a lucky bag, I think 2 years ago. I've used it like once or twice, and I feel like I've only used this a few times as well. I don't really know how I feel about Natasha Denona eyeshadows. This one's so weird. It's got like this oily formula that's leached oil around. I wonder if I can show you. Yeah. So you can see. It's kind of, what the fuck? I mean, it works fine, and I know that it's just the formula, but yeah, that's a weird thing. So I'm gonna have a play with that this month and develop some feelings about it, whether they are good, bad, or indifferent. And my next palette is this little guy. So I've gone here for some pops of color. It's the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. I've used this like once. I've used this purple and this brown. So we'll have a play with this. Again, this actually came out of a lucky bag even more years ago. I don't remember when exactly, but have a play with it. Foundation, concealer, blush and bronzer. They are some new products that I need to bring into the project. For my foundation, I've got the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation in 204. There's not much in this, and I chose this specifically because I know it's a foundation that my skin is really enjoying at the moment. Coming into the cooler weather, my skin's getting a little bit drier. I'm also using a new retinol, so my skin's a bit like, hey ho yo. I'm not really adjusting very well. So this, I know it works for me. I will probably go through this fairly quickly. But I'm also going to try and play with some new foundations this month and, you know, get in my head what I'm liking and what I'm not liking. Concealer, Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the shade 20 Sand. It's like my perfect color. I did have this settled. I was going to film this video a couple of days ago, and I had this like sitting up and it's settled and I could see how much was in there, and then it fell over and I used it today and it's no longer showing me how much is in there. But if I remember correctly, it was just a little bit under half done, so there's not a lot in there. I really love that concealer. I know it works for me. Perfect color for me at the moment. I'm gonna happily use that, and I know it doesn't break me out. Bronzer, I'm choosing the Thin Lizzy 6-in-1 Compact. I've been using this in the last few weeks in April because it's a nice color for me at the moment. I actually really like this bronzer. I think it's great. Yes, I know it was pushed on like telemarketing shows for years, and maybe it still is, I don't know, but I actually really like this bronzer. I wouldn't recommend that you use it as like a lip color and a setting powder and a blush and a highlight and all those things. It's a bit much because it's legitimately a bronze color, so you know, if you are putting it all over your face like they recommend and building it up, it's gonna get pretty muddy looking. Totally use it as an eyeshadow if you wanted though, but as a bronzer I really like this, and I did hit a little bit of pan there, which you can see. So I really want to finish this one up this year, so I'm getting into it. And my blush, I'm just going to work on this for like the next 2 months, and then when it comes to time to do a project refresh, I'm going to swap this out. But I have been enjoying this one recently. It's a L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush in Peach Addict. There it is. Do you smell like peach? I know you're meant to, but I think you just smell like makeup. Anyway, there we go. So I'm enjoying that one. I'm gonna focus on that for a little while. I also have a skincare product and a body product. So for skincare, I chose the BioEffect EGF Serum. Now, I've had this in my stash for a very long time, and it's just kind of sat there, and it doesn't deserve that because it's actually really, really good product. It's also very expensive, so I don't want to waste it. I've got about half a bottle left. This is designed to be used as a full skincare routine in one product. So essentially you wash your face, you put this on morning and night, just a couple of drops, and that's it. And it actually does work really well. I have used this religiously for an extended period, and I really enjoyed the results. Now, the reason I put this aside was because I like to use skincare. I like to try new skincare, and I don't think I'll ever be the type of person who uses just one product, to be fair, even if it does do great things and I am happy with it. So yeah, it's just, I don't think it fits with how I like to have a beauty routine, how I like to have a large beauty routine. So what I'm going to do with this, because I'm not willing to give up my retinol, I'm not willing to give up like vitamin C, I'm not willing to give up my acids or my nightly moisturizer. I'm gonna just try using this during the day as it's intended on its own, sunscreen over the top of course, and yeah, see if I can finish it up that way. Oh my god, I nearly dropped something and it would have smashed and it scared me. That was not nice. This is the product that I nearly dropped. This is the Nuxe Huile Prodigieuse oil. So this is meant to be a multi-purpose oil. You can use it on your face, hair, body, whatever you want, nails. I'm going to use it as a body hydrator through winter. I've had this for a very long time and I just don't reach for it. And one of the main reasons I don't reach for it is because it's in a spray and I have little hands, and you might be able to see like it's looking a bit awkward. It gets slippery and I often drop it. Thank God I've got carpet in my bedroom. So yeah, I would really like to work on this and finish it up. So that's it for my hashtag Team Project Pan update number 4. I will be back in a month with another update and hopefully some empties. Let me know how you guys are going with your project pan, whether you are joining in with a hashtag Team Project Pan or not. I don't mind, it's all good. And yeah, let me know how you're feeling, because I know for me at this stage of the year, like when I do year-long project pans, I'm usually still pretty happy unless I'm getting stuck with products, but I'm feeling pretty good about it at this time. It's good, it's good. Mid-year is usually where it really starts to like fucking grind your gears, but we'll see how we go. All right guys, I'm gonna go. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.